Hi everyone, so we've talked about lossless compression and now we're going to talk about lossy compression. And you're going to be dealing with this widget, and this widget claims you can keep the first letter of a word and remove all the vowels and the result will still be readable. We'll test it out. What are some of the other sentences we should try with this widget? You can navigate through the widget using the links in the side and try a few phrases before returning to this slide. So you could hit pause here, go right into the widget, and play around with it. If you notice, if you look to the side, you can see that you are losing some data in the compressed version, but it's enough for you to get the idea of what's trying to be said. Okay. Okay, so you're going to go to Code Studio, Lesson 10, and then go to Level 2, Bubble 2. And let's just look at this. Okay, and you can move the slider when you're in the widget. You should probably, when you're looking at this video, you should have the, split your screen and have one half of the screen be this video and the other half of the screen be your actual Code Studio open, so that you can slide this slider, okay, and see the different levels of compression and how it looks, okay? So you'll adjust the slider and see the different lossy compressions. And what do you notice about the quality of the image when you compress it? What do you notice about the compressed file size? Right? You should see that as the file size gets smaller, so here's the up down here is the file size. As the file size gets smaller and you have less data going through, also the clarity isn't as sharp. So if we go to the next image, we notice that we have the lossy compression widget, and it's version 2, level 3, and you'll look at a new image, and what I want you to do is I want you to see what you're finding with the different images, and really eventually I want you to be able to identify an image while still keeping the image compressed. I think that you can identify this and see what it is you're dealing with here, what that is. You should all know it is a giraffe. I have great faith that you can tell that it's a giraffe. Okay. Now, questions. We are trying to use this image for a particular purpose, and we need to decide how much lossy compression we want to use. So here we are, and do we want to? This is the first scenario. You are sending this as a text message to a friend, but you've almost run out of data on your phone plan. Do you pick 1, no compression in the original image, 2, a small amount of compression, 3, medium amount of compression, or 4, a large amount of compression? You will have a Google form where you can vote on these. Scenario 2. You are a crime scene photographer and this image is part of a crime scene photo. Okay, so crime scene, to what degree do you want? What kind of clarity do you need for a crime scene? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Scenario 3. This is part of a satellite imaging assignment for the military being used for intelligence gathering. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think that here, I'm just going to add my 2 cents. I think it depends on what intelligence they're looking to gather. So you'll have to, in your mind, envision what level of specificity they're trying to gather. Scenario 4. You are a social media manager posting this to an Instagram story for an event happening right now. Okay. What level of clarity would you want? What amount of compression? Scenario 5. This image will be part of a collage where 100 copies will be stitched together to make a larger image. How much resolution do you need? How much compression do you need? Scenario 6. You are a professional photographer submitting to a design competition where your submission will be carefully judged for color and composition. Okay, so here the takeaway and what you need to be thinking about is, when is it a good idea to use lossless compression? When should you be using lossy compression? So lossless is what we dealt with in lesson number 9, and this is lossy. And what are the important factors in making that decision? What do you have to, what are the pros and cons? And there are pros and cons to both. Now, where lossless compression, you would always be able to reverse after you compress. You'd always be able to reverse it back to the exact bits. In lossy compression, it's a process. You reduce the number of bits to represent something, but the bits that you don't use, they go away, and it's not reversible. So you just absolutely lose the bits. Okay, there you have it.